Do you feel guilty, insecure, and doubt your sanity? Is someone trying to manipulate your thoughts and feelings, and you don't even realize it? Being manipulated can affect your self-esteem and leads you to anxiety or depression. It can be difficult to recognize, especially when it's happening to you. So, here we're gonna have a better look at the subtle signs someone is manipulating you. But first, what is emotional manipulation? Emotional manipulation is a form of abuse that attempts to control how another person thinks, feels, and behaves to make them act or feel a certain way. This can affect how you see yourself and the people around you. So, how can you recognize if someone is actually trying to manipulate you? Here are the 11 signs you're being manipulated. They give more value to their problems than yours. When you are having a bad day, you just need someone who can listen to and comfort you. But a manipulative person may take that opportunity to raise their own issues. They try to make their problems seem worse than you, and the issue you are facing is nothing. It shows that they actually don't care about your problems and feelings and give more value to their own problems than yours. And it's gonna make you feel like you don't deserve to feel sad because other people face something more complicated than you. They guilt trip you. Do you always feel like everything is your fault? When you do or say something, the manipulator may twist your words around to make you feel guilty and how you are disappointing them. For example, they may say, "If you really loved me, you'd never question me." They have the tendency to make themselves the victim and blame it on you. Even if they're doing something wrong, they always have a reason to justify themselves in doing it. They make you feel sorry and responsible. This way, they can make you change your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. This strategy allows them to control your life and influence your decisions. You may feel like you can never do anything right and lose self-esteem. They make you doubt your sanity. Gaslighting is a manipulation tactic in which abusers attempt to make you doubt yourself and confuse you. Gaslighting happens when your manipulator twists the truth or denies it when you confront them. They make you believe you are just making things up in your head and make you question your judgment and intuition. You can no longer trust your instinct, thoughts, feelings, and judgments. And then gradually, you will lose your sense of reality and not be sure whether certain things happened. This can also make you more dependent on them than yourself. They always compare you to others. A manipulator will constantly compare you with others. It's to make you feel like you failed to meet the expectations and that other people are doing much better than you. They can say, "Your pay increase is great, but did you see someone else got a full promotion?" This makes you feel you need to prove your worth to them and seek their validation, but it's never enough. This manipulation tactic will make you feel inferior and break your confidence. This will make it easier for them to gain power and control you. They exploit your insecurities. Does someone use your fears for their own advantage? When manipulators know your biggest fears, flaws, and insecurities, they can use them against you. "You said you want us to be happy. Look what you're doing now." They will hurt you and gonna leave you feeling upset and vulnerable. It's to show how weak you are compared to them. At that point, it's easier for them to take advantage of you. This behavior can change how you think about yourself and your value. And it can harm your mental health. They give you the silent treatment. Do you ever get silent treatment by someone and end up feeling guilty? They don't respond when you speak, not answer the calls, or even reply to the messages when you just want to fix the problem. When you ask why they treat you this way, they might say, "You are the one who made me do this." Someone who is not trying to manipulate you will tell you that they want to fix the problems but can't think rationally. But someone who wants to manipulate you will make you feel like you are being punished, and you deserve it. They want to make you feel responsible for their behavior. And in the end, you think you have no choice but to give in to them. They're always too calm, especially in times of crisis. A manipulative person usually reacts opposite to the person they try to manipulate. When your patience is at the limit and you are emotional, they surprisingly are too calm. This way, they can use your reaction to make you feel too sensitive. They might say, "You're being dramatic," or "You're overreacting." Accusing you of exaggerating is a way to control your behavior or shame you. Unfortunately, this is not going to fix any problems in your relationship. In a healthy relationship, both partners will listen to each other and compromise. But the manipulator will have a my way attitude, and your needs and point of view will not be valued equally. They're constantly criticizing you. Does someone ever judge everything you do? For a manipulative person, no matter how hard you've tried to work on something, it will never seem enough for them. They never appreciate your effort and constantly criticize you. They can also attack you and disguise it as humor or sarcasm. In fact, the judgment manipulator gives to others is projecting their own insecurities. But they just want to make themselves look better and feel good, so they judge others as they please. They don't give you time to make decisions. When you want to make a big decision, you need to think things through. It's to make sure that you make the right decision and know precisely the consequences of that choice, so you won't regret it afterward. Be cautious of people who pressure you for an answer, especially if money is involved or they're gonna gain something from it. Outside the situation that concerns life, you should be able to think about a decision even for a day or two. Putting you under pressure is how manipulators try to make you act as they will. That's why you should understand that what matters is that you feel respected to make a decision, and are fully aware that the choice is in your hand. They ignore your opinion. A manipulative person likes to not listen to your opinion or your disagreement. They also tend to assume that you agree with everything they say. Manipulators often try to exploit your memory to get what they want. They can try to confuse you and tell you that you did say or do something to validate their point of view. They might say, for example, "You don't remember that last time you already said you agreed to me? You always have a bad memory." Someone who is not trying to manipulate you will be willing to listen to you even if you disagree with them. It shows how they respect you and value your voice. They pretend to be concerned. Suppose you are aware and pay attention to people around you. In that case, you will realize that a manipulator sometimes can show fake concerns towards you. They can display fake concerns for your well-being, all to undermine your decisions and confidence. They suddenly take an interest in you and make time for you when they have their own purpose and just to get what they want out of you. If your friends suddenly act like they are excessively concerned about you, you should be careful because this might be what they are up to. Although everyone uses manipulation tactics unconsciously or not, some people use them continually in relationships. This also can become a cycle and keep you stuck. It may be hard to realize that someone is emotionally manipulating you, but identifying them will help you protect yourself and your mental health. Setting boundaries and knowing when to walk away can significantly impact your life. Because no one deserves to be treated this way, so do you. Do you relate to any of these signs? Do you think someone is trying to manipulate you? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe button so you won't miss our new videos. Your support is very appreciated to help us grow. Check out our following videos that you might be curious about too.